Jake was next in line, and man, he did not disappoint. It was pretty incredible. Jake was just laying down solos and stuff in one take. I'm pretty sure he had 2 solo parts. It's like, does it real quick and just laughs.
Jake killed it. He was more solid than like I could have even asked for. He nailed his solos on the first take.
Jake sits down on guitar first thing after the drums are all edited and mixed in and everything, which they just sounded incredible. They were blowing our minds. The tones he picked were just amazing. Like, we couldn't have asked for better. Like, it just already sounded perfect, like better than any recording we've ever, been involved with. And it was not even to the, mix stage yet.
Both Jake and Wes brought it to the table like more than could ever be asked of them.
That was the most professional environment I'd ever recorded guitar in, for sure. He was able to just kind of like edit as he would go. I even had some parts I had to change a little bit just to keep up with what Josh was bringing to the table.
Really, it was awesome that we had the chance to pre-track this album out before we flew down there. I think it really helped out, sped up the process. Wes just hossed it up like he always does, laid down all his rhythms, really got to hear all the crunchy guitar tone Bob was giving us during that part, which was really cool. He really knows our style and knows what we're going for, and really just captured it perfectly and did it all, without question, without being asked. He just knew what we wanted, and it was a really cool bond between us and the engineer, and he helped produce us and gave us little ideas here and there for Wes and, Josh to lock in on certain parts that they didn't before.
I've known Will for years. He's always been involved in the music scene a little bit. He had been playing along to The Throne and to some of our pre-production demos for the new EP. He showed up, was very professional, knew what he was doing. It didn't take long for him to catch on. He sat through the whole recording process for the guitars, so he just kind of learned as he went. He killed it, did really good. I recorded bass for a few of the songs on the last EP, so it was nice having someone there that can actually play bass. That was willing and able to just on a whim fly to California and record with us. It was pretty awesome. It was refreshing, really.
When did I meet Will officially? I don't really know Will before this, so I meet the kid and I shake his hand, and I don't know how to feel about him. He's got an interesting style. It's, how first impressions are. But then the week goes by, and man, this kid really grew on me a lot. I first just really started liking the guy when he laid down his bass tracks. That was definitely a selling point for me. Honestly, out of any studio recording I've ever done with any bassist, it was probably the quickest and the best. He did a really good job. He had a really positive attitude the whole time, which is probably the biggest thing about it. I mean, when you're in a tiny hot studio box room, you got to be positive. We're all just in there. It's pretty much like a job. 10 hours of that every day, So, but he killed it. It was awesome, and he's definitely a part of the crew now.
He did not get to try out, but instead he decided to buy a ticket and fly down to California to the studio with us and record his tracks, which we've never seen that much dedication from a bass player in Alaska in history. Like any of our old bass players, nobody was willing to just drop money, uproot their life, and fly down and just try out, basically. He didn't even know if we were going to use him on the album. He didn't even know if he was going to be able to learn the songs in time or anything.
Logan started with it saying that, that'd be cool if you came down and recorded bass. Total joke. We weren't gonna fly with it, and then the next thing you know, the joke started to become a little bit more of a reality. And I bought a plane ticket the next day, and then I flew down to California, flew across the world for a tryout. Very interesting, very, very expensive. There's certain tracks that I immediately fell in love with. These guitar riffs didn't have any drums, it didn't have any bass, it had nothing. I didn't even hear the vocals till a day before I flew to California. At a certain level, you could be the most charismatic person on the planet, but when you walk into a band, especially guys that they've been playing together for years. I met two of them for the first time. I'd never met Jake before, and Tori, I had heard about him. I had been in bands with people that had been in bands with them. Eventually, you know, everyone started to let their barriers down. We started drinking. You know, the guys really took me in. Everyone was really friendly.